first in the mornings, originally from the Bayou State of Louisiana.
I say, here at Cajun Roots Reseller, you give me an offer and I'll take it.
You got the dollars? You got the dollars? See the special man on YouTube. He's got it all.
I got an offer. I got the dollars. Let me have it, please. I got the dollars.
I say. This is Johnny's. The place that'll let you have it with no problem.
Let him have it.
Johnny has a sale right now. I say. This is Johnny's place. Let him have it with no problem. See the special man.
Here at Cajun Roots Reseller, you give us the offer.
You got the dollars. You got the offer. Well, let him have it with no problem. Let him have it.
You got it.
I am looking for some jewelry in Dublin.
Do you have any credit?
No, I was recently involved in a divorce in Dublin. Look, I'm not one of those maybe it's Maybelline gals, okay? I just want to go out on the town with Sheila and accessorize some.
See, special man.
I don't know about you, but this dough girl is going to Johnny's place. Check out Cajun Roots Reseller right now. I say. Go see the special man and tell him the dough girl sent you.
Hello, good morning, and welcome on this Taco Tuesday. How is everyone doing this morning? Hello, good morning, and welcome. First in the chat was Scarlett. Hello, good morning, and welcome. And Craig, always sleepwalking. How you doing this morning? Hello, good morning, and welcome. Hashtag Night Glenn. Anna Marie, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? And Regina, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Angela, hello, good morning, and welcome. And little Debbie, hello, good morning, and welcome. And thank y'all for being here. I got... Oh, okay. Awesome. Chuck, what's up? Happy Tuesday to you. Hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Let's see. Welcome, by the way. Who else do we have? Michael, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good morning, hello, and welcome. Steph, you're still awake? I was watching a video she was doing live this morning at about 6 o'clock. That was too funny, girl. It looked like you were running off of no sleep. It was so funny. And thank you, Michael, for giving a membership that went to Steph by the seashore. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. And it is time for the morning chair dance. And thank you, Michael. This is for you.
The dollars. Let me have it, please. I got the dollars.
Let him have.
You got the dollars? We got the offer? Let him have it with no problem. Let him have it.
And this is also for you.
Attention, new member. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend and family member of the Cajun Roots Reseller channel. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Michael. And Unique, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. And Robin, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Everybody's chatting up. Amy, hello, good morning, and welcome. I saw your pictures you posted on Facebook. Cute pictures. And good morning. And Pam, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Randy, hello, good morning, and welcome. I'm not sure if you realized your membership did not go on this channel. It went on your personal channel. I'm not sure if you knew that. I saw the notification this morning come in. You got membership, but it didn't show up in the chat this morning because you're in a different channel. I'm not sure if you knew that. But thank you for becoming a member. So this is going to be for you.
Attention, new member. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a friend and family member of the Cajun Roots Reseller channel. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Randy. Chuck says the hottest intro ever. I try to make it every time I do a different milestone, which I'll probably be doing one again when I get 60,000, because I want to do maybe 66,000 and do a whole new intro again. That'd be pretty cool. Get other people to enter. And Rocket, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? And Steven, hello, good morning and welcome. And Robin, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? It's good, rainy. Yeah, we got a little bit of rain coming through. It's supposed to clear up. Hetty, hello, good morning and welcome. And hope you had a great birthday. Good to see you. How are you doing this morning? And there's Marcy. If y'all don't know Marcy, I need to check her out. She's also the YouTube. She's on YouTube. And you always catch her also when Chuck goes live when they do sales. Check them out. Yes, Steph, you got membership. Congratulations. Well, hello, Gwen. Hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? And you're welcome, Amy. Heather, hello, good morning and welcome. And I did take care of your post on the calendar. So they are there on the calendar, including your pop-up. And don't forget to check out today, Unimagic, and actually Friday, Unimagic will be live on with Heather this Friday. It's on the calendar too, so check it out. Let's see, I got my coffee. I'm ready too. Brittany, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? 60K, I thought you were. No, Craig, that's what you get for sleepwalking. No, Craig, ain't near there yet. I'm working on it though. I gotta get some more videos out. I just gotta upload. Hoosier, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? I don't want to push it, Craig. Lord Jesus, it's a lot of work. Deborah, hello, good morning and welcome. And Cheryl, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are y'all doing this morning? Good to see y'all. Welcome. Let's see here. And I'm going to go ahead and go through the calendar of events for the day. Starting at 9 o'clock, you do have Queen City Picker going live. That's Tom. Then you have 10:55 is Big Barn Auction. That's JJ. At 11 o'clock, you have Saved Here First. Hello, with Picky Nikki. Sales from the Sunshine State. And then at 11 o'clock, 7 days a week, you have Stacy Make Attitudes, Crafters Retreat. And then at 11 o'clock, you also have the Buddha Chick Rita doing First Things First, which is a daily devotions and Bible study reading. At 11:30, you have Jackass Retro with his ship show. Don't forget at 12 o'clock noon today and Thursdays, you do have two hip chicks, Dawn and Mary, go live with their chick chat. At 2 o'clock, you have Southern Vintage with Gina. It's actually Southern Vintage Gina. And then at 3 o'clock, you have Red Road. And every Wednesday, she does a preview of what she's going to bring for the auctions on Tuesdays. And she does that on Wednesdays. And then at 3:30, you have Buying Space doing an unboxing. That's every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And at 5 o'clock, you have Nails Jamie B going live. And that's every Tuesday and Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All the times I'm telling you are Eastern. Also, starting a new live show with Ashley with race and Bible reading. In other words, like some kind of racing. I haven't watched it yet because she did go live yesterday as well. And then at 6 o'clock, you have Dawn's channel with Creations by D and guests. At 6 o'clock, I have Ladies Night, Colleen OG Lions going live. And then at 6 o'clock, you have Steph, sells stuff by the seashore. Say that several times fast, right? And then at 6:30, you have Janine's solo sale. At 6:30, you do have auctions with friends. Make sure you have the 1-800 number that you can text. It's a text servicing that you can set up for so you can know what channel they're on. But tonight it's on Virtual Shopkeeper DD's channel. And then at 6:30, you have Jeff Crumpler doing his live sale. And then at 6:30 is Revive It Sisters, and their guest tonight is the Buddha Chick Rita. And then at 7 o'clock, Dawn and Mary do go back live on Whatnot at 7 o'clock, all vinyl record sales. And then at 8 o'clock, you have Southern Bella with Bargains by Bell. I don't know why I say Bella all the time. It's Southern Belle. Bargains by Bell. And then at 8 o'clock, you have Caucasian Sasquatch. At 8 o'clock, you have the Nurse Flipper Cat going live every Tuesday. Also at 8 o'clock, you have Treasure Scavengers live auction. That's Amber and Mike. At 9 o'clock, you have Scooter Renee LLC with the Twister Tuesday show. And then at 10 o'clock, you have Vintage Viking Treasures Becky. If you did not hear your channel name and you have a special event going on, please let me know by going in down. Remember, it's no longer called Community Tab. Most of our channels now, it's called Posts. So check that out, and that's where the link is for the calendar. And if you need to be added to the calendar, please make sure you leave me a message there. Or you can email me at cajunrootsresell@gmail.com, or you can also send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll be glad to add you to the calendar so that everybody knows where you're at and what time you go live. Quick coffee about a week. Oh, how do you do that? Oh, I can't go, but I cannot give up coffee. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you. Bunny Ears Backyards. We have bunnies in our front yard all the time. My dogs love chasing them, so they haven't gotten them because I always make sure they're on a leash. So if you have anyone you know of that has special ways that they are sourcing other than your typical garage sales, estate sales, or even at thrift stores, and you want to learn a little bit more about it, and invite them on by letting me know, or send them an email letting them know that I do this every Tuesday and Thursday. And today, I could never, me either, Amy. And so today we have somebody in the back room, finally got their computer reset, and now they're here. He had to go out because something was going on earlier. So anywho, he's back. And so I asked him to come on because I watch a lot of their videos. If you have not checked out their videos, and I say they because it's Chuck, Backroad Bidder Chuck, and Marcy. She's also in the chat, and that's who our guest is today, because I want to cover some of the things that he does that y'all may not know that he does a lot on his videos. But before we get started, Chuck, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your channel and Marcy's channel. And Teresa, hello, good morning, and welcome. And what we have Brandon in the house today. What's up?
Hey, Brandon.
Good to see you. How does one function without? I know, right? And Renee, hello, good morning, and welcome. So today we're gonna have a little conversation with Chuck in reference to the way he sources, and that's why I asked him to come on, because he does something different that I like. Watch, and it's very interesting. So Chuck, tell everybody a little about your channel and what you got going on your channel, and promote yourself and Marcy.
Hey, I'm the Backroad Bidder Chuck. I've been reselling for a while. I don't know, I think we've been on YouTube since 2004. So, or YouTube, I mean eBay, and that's where we started. Now we've branched out into other reselling platforms. Been on YouTube maybe 4 years. Little channel. I thought mine might be a little different because there's not a lot of channels where people go to live auctions and record. So I thought I'd try that. So that's kind of my niche. Usually estate auctions or farm auctions, to buy whatever I can, as much as I can for as little as I can. My channel is just Backroad Bidder. Marcy's channel is Frugal Peanut, but she has not been active on there for a little while. I don't know if she's going to be back or not, but she's been helping me with my channel mostly and been in most of my videos because she's funnier than me and a better reseller, honestly. And I see a lot of new names in here that I don't know, so while I was waiting to come on, I was subscribing to some of you.
And also, don't forget to tell everybody what y'all do on Thursdays. And don't y'all do an auction on Wednesdays?
We were doing a regular auction on Wednesdays that we're going to pick up again here pretty soon. I took a little time off because our summer got crazy. That's on my regular channel. Thursday nights, me and Nady Pie, formerly Nady Pie's Trinkets and Doodads, do a show called The Two Beardos. It's an adult-themed show where we talk about naughty things that you wouldn't talk about on a morning show. But it's just a hangout and getting ridiculous. This week it will be on my Backroad Bidder live channel. And on alternate weeks, it's on Nady Pie's channel. Yeah, and Robert's there every week. He's our best.
Yep, and I'm going to bed every time he goes on because I can't do it. So for those who don't know Chuck, again, I've met Chuck in person. I've also met Marcy in person. And so every time we go to the lake house, we try to do a meetup. And so one of the questions I want to start asking to get this started, if anyone does not know about this, how does one find out about local auctions like you do with you and Marcy going out to these local auctions that y'all do in your town?
Really, a lot of times it's the old-fashioned way, the old free shopping newspapers that come out. But there's also a website called Auction Zip, which is available, I think, everywhere. And you put in your zip code and how many miles out you're willing to travel, and it'll tell you all the local live auctions and online auctions, which is pretty cool. Otherwise, I know some of the auctioneers. You know, I go to their personal websites, but they're specific websites, and look them up that way. And I do have some friends that work for auctioneers, which helps as well. And they'll text me like, "You coming to this one this week?"
And could you tell again, what was that website you used for that?
Auction Zip, all one word, auctionzip.com.
And if somebody in the chat can drop Chuck's live channel link, please. Now, how do you determine, because I've noticed watching your videos, when you're purchasing certain things, how do you determine how that works as far as, because I'm noticing that in your auctions that you go to, the public auctions, there's like boxes set up. And how does that work when you're going to bid on those boxes?
Depends on the auctioneer and how things are going. Sometimes they'll pick up a whole big box and start a bid at $1. Those are the fun ones, because then you get boxes of stuff you don't even know what's in there and you dig through them later. And sometimes if they look in there and see items that they know are worth something, they'll start pulling out individual items, which can make an auction last 8 hours instead of 4. But it's an all-day commitment either way. So that's
because I've noticed on some items when you're at that auction, they'll pull certain items out first and then they turn around and auction off what's left in that box, correct?
Yep. Or they'll dump it out and do a choice first. Well, they'll let you bid to be the first to choose, and sometimes they'll do that twice, and then they'll say, okay, the rest of it. And I've always been kind of the rest of it guy, the bottom feeder that cleans up the stuff at the end. Auctioneer's best friend. But
all right, we do have a question in the chat from Michael Angry Auto React. Does HiBid give you a list of local auctions?
It does, but at least on HiBid around here, there's no live auctions there. It's all online ones. So I'm not sure if in other regions, if people, post live auctions on there where you actually go in person and, raise your hand and hoot and holler, which is the fun part.
Thank you, Amy. Have a great day. Don't work too hard. Now, when you go to these auctions, do you get a chance, or do you have a time frame where you can go in a little early and get to kind of see what's in these boxes on these trailers? Because I've noticed that there's a lot of trailers set up with multiple boxes.
Yeah, they'll let you come in early. I'm usually there. I try to be there at least a half hour early, sometimes up to an hour, which is important for parking as well. But yeah, and that's really all you get, is as early as you can be there the day of. That's all you get to preview things. But I still like that better than online auctions, because at least you get to hold it and give it a good look over.
Right. Now, when you're doing these auctions, how does that work towards the end? Do you have to pay everything at one time, or do you have to basically build everything up and then pay at the end? And how does that work?
Yep, you pay before you leave, and I have forgotten to and drove off before. But to bid on an auction, you have to fill out a little form, giving everything, including your driver's license number. So that if you forget and drive away, they're going to track you down. But yeah, you pay usually cash or check. Some of them will take a debit card or credit card before you leave at the end of the day. So, but yeah,
you get to smell the stuff in a live auction as well.
That's actually important.
Thank you, Rocket. There's Chuck's link, by the way, to his channel. I think that's one of the channels. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the good one.
Yeah, and so
Thanks, Rocket.
you can check it out and set your reminders that way when you go to see his live shows, and also check out the videos when they come out. So out of curiosity, I know sometimes I've watched y'all where y'all have even bought a lot of blow molds. How does that work when you buy those as far as the whole lots?
Those are usually sold individually, and there's usually a lot of competition for those. So it's hard to get those at a price that works for a reseller. But yeah, you set everything aside. Usually we just start a pile somewhere, maybe next to a tree or something, so we can find it again. Keep an eye on it, because people will walk off with stuff or trip on it and break it. And then periodically take it back to the car when they're selling stuff you're not interested in.
Right. Let's see. Buying Space, hello, good morning, and welcome. And Dee, hello, good morning, and welcome. I knew he looked familiar. I subbed Chuck a while back. Awesome.
I'm also on the post office wall.
And if anybody has any questions in reference to local auctions like what Chuck and Marcy do, please feel free to ask away in the chat. That's what we're here for. And again, every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm trying to bring different guests on, talking about different other avenues of resourcing, because of the fact that it's not everyone that can go thrifting, garage sales, or estate sales. And also usually those are usually on the weekends. Now that brings me to my next question. How often do they usually do these type of auctions, and what day of the week do they usually run them? Is it multiple days?
Almost always. I mean, Saturday is the key day. They will pull up an evening one. If they have household stuff, they'll do it during a weekday on the evening. If it's just farm stuff, they'll do it weekdays because farmers don't have a set schedule where they have to be somewhere. But yeah, it's usually Saturday is usually my day, and yeah, the ones they do in the evenings are usually when there's not a lot of items. It's a smaller auction. Sometimes it's worth it though because no one else shows up. So
Right. I like watching the auto auctions. I saw 2 campers go for $50. Wow, that is insane. All right, Randy has a question. Do you have specific buyers you hate to see show up? Do people intentionally run it and dump it on someone?
it has happened. There are a few buyers that we have kind of a friendly rivalry with some of them. But to be honest, I would rather show up at an auction with a whole bunch of resellers than with end users or collectors, because the resellers are going to keep the prices reasonable because they need to make money too. You just got to compete and make sure you get it. You put your bid in at the right time. And yes, there is some running up. There are some people that will do that if you get something that they wanted, and you got to watch for that. But for the most part, the local community here is pretty darn friendly, so that's cool. But yeah, if you're if you go to an auction where specifically things like guns or beer signs, where a lot of collectors are going to show up, you might find a good deal on something if you wanted to keep it. But if you're looking to resell, you're probably not going to get those resale prices.
So do you get a chance to, other than going in early before the auction starts, or is there like on the website that you can go and see any of these items, or do they not post that?
Oh yeah, they usually do post highlight pictures. So I mean, auctions have thousands of things, so you're only going to get like what they think are the best items.
Mm-hmm.
And some auctioneers don't even know what we're looking for, so
right,
it's hard to rely on those. It's just good to kind of scan those pictures though to get a general feel. You're better off actually reading the sale bill and then showing up, because a lot of times at the bottom it's "and much more," and the "and much more" is the stuff that's where you find the treasures that nobody else was looking for.
Deborah asked, what is the average buyer's premium that you have to pay?
That's a really good question. My favorite auctioneers have none, which is nice. There's a few local ones that do up to I think one does 11% for some reason. There's a couple that do up to 10%. So you got to figure that into your costs. But yeah, actually still most of the old timer auctioneers around here, it doesn't cost you any premium, which is nice. That's a good question.
I have to ask this, and I'm trying to bring in questions so that others can ask in the chat.
Sure.
For this type of resourcing. Have you ever bid on something that you wish you would have left behind?
Oh yeah, weekly. But luckily with the live auctions, you get things really cheap, which is why I love them. So, you might have a $10 loss because you didn't look at it closely enough and part of it's broken or, something's missing. I mean, yeah, that happens quite often. And sometimes you miss it. Like you can get there an hour early and think you looked at everything. They'll hold something up that you missed and you take a chance on it and hit or miss. You might get a good one. You might be a dud.
Randy has a question. What is a buyer's premium?
Oh, that's where the auctioneers, I think it's sleazy. Auctioneers get a percentage of the total sales that they bring in for the sellers, for the people hosting. And then some of them also charge on the other end. They charge, it's like a sales tax, but it goes to the auctioneer. And they get another percentage on what you buy. So they get it on both ends, which I don't think that's right when they do that.
And they do most auctions, because I've gone to a couple of auctions in one of the towns where I met up with Tooch there in Carroll, where one good thing about it is they only charge a small percentage because it's a town that does it and supports the town's homeless and things like that, and their town functions. So it depends on where you go. It was a very low percentage, but you want to check that when you're going to these auctions, because a lot of times they do charge, but it's based on the company or companies that are part of it.
And yeah, of course, sometimes they do good causes for the percentage they charge. So yeah, you don't want to diss them too much because that's cool. They support a lot of things locally.
Buying Space has a question. What did you get for the oil painting from the Russian royals?
That's a blast from the past. I remember when I bought that. You know what I got for it? I lost space in my inventory. It's here somewhere. I still have it. I wasn't sure what to do with it. And I still had it at the time. We used to have a booth, and we don't have it anymore. And usually I put those larger things in there. But yeah, I got a cool painting of the Russian royal family in an amazing frame somewhere.
Buying Space said that. Buying Space. Mara said that's how long she remembers watching you.
Well, thank you for. Yeah, that was a while ago.
Buying says, when I was a kid, I used to go to the auction houses with my parents. 1970s, the only pucked up gold ounces. Wow, that was a long time ago for that price.
$100. Wow.
Yeah. So it's basically like tipping the auctioneer.
Yeah, basically that buyer's premium is.
Yeah. Claudette, hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? And again, it all depends on the auctioneer, the company. And then again, you got to remember, most of these auctions, like the ones that Chuck goes to that I've been watching his videos on, it's more of a lot of different things that people bring in, correct? And different companies that come together as one.
Actually, no, usually it's one family estate sale most of the time. But there are times where they have to keep things separate because it's several estates or several different companies that have, recently closed out a bunch of things.
Mm-hmm. So out of curiosity, when you do go to these things, is there anything in particular that you're looking for? Because I know you and Marcy, as many times I've watched y'all with y'all those auctions, it seemed like y'all, and I'm going to say this because I'm going to come back to another portion of one of your videos, things that y'all all look for when y'all both there, or do y'all kind of split up and knowing what y'all look for both of y'all? Because I know, don't y'all have both an eBay store?
We share a store, but we kind of each have our own niches.
Okay.
Which is getting more blended. We learn from each other, but yeah, you kind of go in with a game plan, but there's a lot of surprises at auctions. So you got to be open-minded and sometimes take a chance. And if you're lucky enough to be somewhere where you got reception, you can look things up. Unfortunately, a lot of auctions are where there's no service and definitely no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So sometimes you take a chance, and sometimes you come home with not even close to what you intended to go buy. And that's kind of part of the fun. I think that's the treasure hunting part of it.
Okay, now my next question is going to be based on something that I already know. But for those who have not watched your videos, what is this thing you like doing as far as with these coffee mugs that you tend to purchase?
Coffee mugs? Sometimes those don't get sold. Are you talking about the ones I collect?
Well, the ones you purchased and didn't know why you paid what you paid for them.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the specific.
Let me remind you, there was a video you and Marcy was doing where you drove, I want to say about 45 minutes to an hour to pick up a box of mugs.
That was an online auction, and at the beginning of that, that's why I prefer to be there in person. I had bids in on dozens of things, a big long list, and it kept dwindling down, and because I had to drive so far, so I was hoping to get a bunch of stuff. It's a coffee cup order. And yeah, by the end of the auction, I ended up driving 45 minutes for one lot of 4 coffee mugs, I think. Yeah, that was not awesome. Luckily, we turned it into a thrifting trip and went.
Exactly. Buying Space wants to know, do you love Chuck? Native Pie.
Yes, I do. He's a quirky little fella, and he's my friend. He's a little goofy fella. I just want to. Oh wait. Hold it. Don't look down my shirt. I think.
But it was a Batman cup. Yeah, exactly.
The Batman cup is right here, actually.
Is it collecting pencils?
Yep.
Nope.
Because it wasn't worth nothing. I did get a couple of Batman cups from the first Batman movie, though, with Michael Keaton. So I think I made $20 or something on those.
Now, do you do usually well with coffee mugs, or do you just collect them?
Yeah. Both. Most of them that I get end up getting donated, or I'll throw them in the cupboard and use them. But I do love, sometimes you find some amazing ones. I had what is it, like $35 one, and I can't remember the artist's name now, but I found one where it had some artist's work on it. I think it was a butterfly. So once in a while you find those really cool ones, but
I love the videos with you and Marcy in it, and she makes these funny faces and gestures when you're purchasing something. It's like, okay, what are you gonna do with that?
Yep.
It's like, okay.
I do that to her too, but I
What's the
edit that
pause?
out. Yeah, she knows I'm an idiot sometimes. I saw chest here. Sorry.
So with that one auction y'all tend to go to a lot, do y'all actually go to anything, and what is your longest travel that you would go out when going to these auctions?
Probably about 90 minutes. If it takes me more than an hour and a half to get there, I'll stay home, or we'll go thrifting or something. And usually that's not a problem, but yeah, we have old cars and we don't want to put the wear and tear on or get stuck somewhere.
Craig would like to know, are the Death Wish mugs still selling well?
Death Wish mugs? I don't know what that is. Do I? I have a problem. See, that's how much of a problem I have. I don't even remember what I buy. Did
Marcy,
I buy
I love you. He has a problem, Chuck. We are here for your intervention.
I do with hats too. Oh my gosh.
I love
and books.
Mugs for Goodwill. Yeah. I try to get them as cheap as possible, but sometimes there's just that one mug you got to get because it's different.
Right.
So anywho, if anybody has any questions having to do with auctions online and or in person, that's one of the things I'll ask Chuck to come on about today, because they do that. Him and Marcy do go to a lot of, usually on the weekends. Y'all been doing pretty good lately on those auctions with the videos y'all been doing. So talk a little bit about that as well, with the way you're doing your videos.
Yeah, sometimes I try not to get into a rut and do the same thing over and over, but I know sometimes it does. But I try. We go with the intention of getting good stuff to resell. And sometimes we realize we're not going to come home with much. So it's like, okay, let's try to make a video out of this. Yeah, and I don't want to just buy stuff just to have it on video, even though I have done that a few times. Like, okay, that thing's just cool and I have to have it, and then I'll buy it and then whatever.
Mike, that is so true, because I'm starting to see a lot of those now, those vintage mustache mugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I've done well with those as well. I should put my mug on a mug. Thanks, Tooch. No one would want to drink out of it. That ruined it.
If you have any questions having to do with the in-person auctions in your town, or you have any questions, please feel free to ask away, because that's what we're here for today. Try to do this every Tuesday and Thursday with someone different coming on up and having some new ways of you sourcing. What is the biggest score you've ever made from a cheap lot of items?
Great question, and I should have been prepared for it. I tell the same story a lot, but it was molds. They were rubber molds that you pour hot pewter or lead into to make ice figures, skaters, and there were soldier ones, and I had no idea what they were. I just know another reseller bought a box, and he was thrilled to get. He was so thrilled to get him. He grabbed his box and he left, or he didn't leave, but he went off and he was digging through it, and another box came up and he missed it. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get this one. I didn't know what it was. I paid $11 for the box. Well, it was a big box. It was heavy. And each one of those molds I could sell for, some of them around $10, but some of them were like $30. So yeah, I turned $11 into a few hundred anyway. That's one of my favorite stories to tell. I've also bought some things from the local university, usually electronic devices. Recently, I sold actually a microphone like what an auctioneer would use. It had the headset and a little speaker that you wore on a belt down here. I paid $5 for that and sold it for $75, I believe. And I had 3 of them. So the other two are still listed. But my point is, the university, like, they get new stuff all the time. Their old stuff still works fine. So it's nice to go pick up their stuff and flip it. And there I get a lot of things that I didn't know what the heck it was when I bought it. I have to research it and bring it home. And then, a lot of that lab equipment, weird Spectrum things, that's got the line like this.
Mm-hmm. Deborah says, I had a mini New Testament book that I got in a box lot, paid $5 for it, and the mini Bible sold for $1,100.
Oh my gosh.
That is awesome.
I've never had a flip quite
I
like
bought from a local online auction and a couple of times. Decent items, develop the relationship with them, and that's another thing you can do too, because Chuck and them, they know Chuck and Marcy there when they go, because they there, so you get to make them the connection. If you get in touch with them, which is
a good idea, because they don't miss your bid. It helps that I'm a big guy, but they look for me, like, when something's not selling, they'll be, hey, they go call you by your number 11. You want this one? Fine.
Sure, why not?
If it's $1.
Now, do you tend to find a lot, and I know in some auctions are different than others, do you tend to find there's a theme when you go to these auctions like that, or is it always just a variety of stuff or vintage stuff?
That's a good question. It's usually 50-50. About half of them are estate auctions where it's whatever they had that the family didn't want. If they passed away or they downsized and went into a nursing home or sold the farm, they're just getting rid of everything they had in the house. That's about half of what we go to. Other ones are a similar situation, but they're specifically selling their beer collection or their tobacco collection or whatever. And then those are the ones where the collectors show up and it's kind of hard to get reselling items. Excuse me. But you can be successful at both.
Let's see. Good to know the auctioneer. Let's see. I have to jump and yell at it. I have to jump and yell to bid. Aw. Because Chuck's taller than you for sure, right? I've done a video when I met them too. So yeah, you can tell the difference in the height. And your son has gotten just as tall, if not taller than you.
He's close. He's not quite as tall as me, but he's looking me right in the eye.
Our biggest score was a $2 rest of the table lot. I've had that has happened when I've gone to the auctions actually with Tooch in a town that far from us, and that's what they do too. If you have certain things you want, and these are usually tables where we go, and usually they'll sell things off of the table, and then once that's done and nobody else is interested in what's on that table, they will start a whole bid on the whole table. Then that way, once you win that, you get everything that's left on that table. Is that how they do that there?
Yep.
On the trade?
Yep. That happens quite often. Yeah. And sometimes sooner than later, if they can't find anybody interested in individual items, they'll do half of a wagon or an entire wagon.
Yeah. All right, Glenn, don't work too hard. So yeah, that's one of the things you can get too. If you're watching any auction, no matter where it's at in a public area, they all have their different ways of doing things. But you definitely want to keep eyes on things that you're looking at on some of the tables. Because when I went to this one auction with Tooch and Carol and Steve and Carol's husband, we were all getting great things. And I've already sold everything that I purchased except for one bowl, which I'm going to put in my antique booth. It's wonderful. You can pick up some great deals.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The auction is online 3 days a week. I haven't gotten. I live winning an entire wagon. Yeah, that is pretty cool though. So if anybody has any questions having to do with the live auctions, that's what we're talking about today as far as resourcing. Please feel free to ask away in the chat. And also Marcy Frugal Peanuts is in the chat as well. That is Chuck's wife. You can catch them both a lot of times in Chuck's live videos that he uploads when they go to these live auctions. So out of the curiosity, when it comes to these auctions, have you been able to score any really good vintage items that sell really well?
Yes. Yeah, one thing nice about where I live, I'm in southern Wisconsin. I don't know if I mentioned that before. But the Midwest, we got a lot of farmers who bought all their stuff when they got married and didn't update for years. So mid-century modern stuff is everywhere here. and we buy it and then we sell it to the coasts because that's where a lot of it goes anyway. So yeah, we vintage is where it's at. We do vintage glassware and light fixtures and tablecloths that are embroidered and whatnot, and even clothing sometimes. But yeah, that's where the being able to smell the item comes in handy, because sometimes they've been stored in a basement for a while.
Yeah. Let's see. We get great auctions places here in North Illinois. Go Badgers.
Go Badgers, nice.
And take very good. Yes, they do. I've noticed that when I was up there, when we go sourcing while we are up in the lake house in Illinois, we're only like 5 minutes away from Wisconsin. So we do go into Wisconsin a lot. And it's amazing on the stuff you can find when you're sourcing up there. It's amazing. Have you ever bought an item you thought was nothing until you looked it up and it was really something?
Oh my gosh, that is an awesome question, and it has happened. Oh, I can't think of an example. Maybe if I look around.
Besides the coffee mugs.
Dang it. But yes, it has. It's happened quite a few times, actually, because I'm still learning. We've only been doing this, 10 years part-time. Started as a hobby, still kind of just a hobby for me and more of a business for Marcy. So yeah, that has happened a lot of time. We take a lot of risks and just buy something that looks kind of cool. And yeah, I'm sorry. I know there's been items that I thought were throwaway items that I've turned around and flipped for $50, $60 once I looked it up. So that's a good key, though. Look everything up you bring home. Even if it looks like it's a broken part off of something, that somebody might be looking for that part.
Yeah, because the only thing bad about it too, when you're in those type of areas, a lot of times you cannot get phone service. You can't get reception.
Right.
So a lot of times you cannot look up things. So you got to kind of use your judgment. It is a downfall, but how long have y'all been doing those type of auctions now?
Well, we've been reselling for 10 years. I was going to auctions before that when we bought this house in 2012-ish, just to fill our house with stuff. I started auctions. I've always been an auction junkie. I just had to turn it into a business to keep us from drowning in this stuff.
Now, for those that don't know, Marcy has retired, so she's full-time, and then you work, so you're part-time, correct?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Since 2007. Wow. Tooch has a joke. Favorite Packer joke. What do you call a mini Viking with a Super Bowl ring?
Yes.
All right. Also, for those that didn't notice, I do have the link at the top of the chat. If you would like to come on and join us, you're more than welcome to do so. Please make sure you have your camera and your mic connected, because it won't let you on until you do those 2 items. And then I will have to verify that it's you before I let you on. But you're more than welcome to come on up and join us on the panel. And again, if anyone has any specific ways that you source other than your thrifting, garage sales, estate sales, and you would like to share that with us, make sure you email me and I'll be glad to add you to the calendar for any Tuesday or Thursdays, or I'm setting these aside for these shows. Like any hobby, yep, it pays for itself. You're right about that. Geneva, hello, good morning and welcome in. Ella. Hello, good morning and welcome. Ella, how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. So out of curiosity, if anybody has never done this type of auctions before and going into finding these auctions, again, for those who are just coming in, go ahead and tell everybody the website they can try to find this on, and what would be some tips you would give somebody for going to these auctions and they've never done it before for the first time?
Yeah, Auction Zip is where I find close or local auctions to attend, or check the newspaper if you still have a print paper in your area, because here a lot of the auctioneers are older gentlemen and they're not online as much. They like the print form. And I say gentlemen because it is pretty male dominated, honestly. But yeah, tips here. I have a lot of tips. One, don't be afraid to make noise. Don't think you have to be like the guys on TV where they'll do a little wink or a little gesture like this and then get mad when they don't see your bid. I'm taller than most of the people and I'm still going, yeah, because I want to be seen. Sometimes I'll wear, a louder shirt. Everyone else is wearing, a blue plaid. I'll be wearing a Hawaiian shirt sometimes or a bright colored hat just so I can be seen. Don't be afraid to bid. Just know your limitations and watch. Auctioneers do what they do with their cadence to get you caught up in it so that, you will bid more than you intended to. So you got to listen carefully and make sure you know what they're on. And there are ring helpers around, and you can ask them, what's the current bid, if you're a little confused. You got to watch that, but then don't be afraid to bid. Just get in there and get your feet wet. Sometimes
especially if you see something you want, and you definitely want to make sure you don't miss out.
Right. But at the same time, too, don't get too emotional where you pay, way overpay for what it's worth. And Tooch Man actually made me think of something, too. It's like, making the Vikings joke. Sometimes buy stuff that you don't like. I see Minnesota Vikings stuff, and I'm like, oh, man. But it's like, it sells. Don't turn your nose up at stuff that you're not interested in because somebody else is. And
right.
It'll sell.
Well, one of the things too, though, if you've never done certain categories, and this will be like a great opportunity because you can get it for practically low. We have a question from Buying Space. How do you get an item auction at Christie's?
Christie's is like a huge auction house. I think they're on the East Coast.
Deborah says she's done it twice. You need to have an appointment for them and send the pictures. Geneva says, I am from Wisconsin too. Hello, neighbor.
Oh, hello, Dirt Road Memories. We're in southwest Wisconsin, north of Platteville, in Montford, if you're familiar, home of Rural Route 1 popcorn.
In the country. I love it. All right, we have a question from Ella. Question for Chuck. Have you done more homework on a question in order to invite me back onto your fourth time?
Ella's been on our Beardos show, and on Beardos, nothing is off limits. We talk about nasty stuff, body parts, body fluids, sexual things. And Nate is the guy that usually instigates a lot of that. And I think the last time she was on, Ella made Nate blush.
I did watch that one.
And then she sits there and goes, come on, give me more questions. Let's go. And we don't plan anything on the show. We wing it.
And she did say the last time, if y'all can't come up with new questions, I'm not coming back on.
It's true. It's true. And we want her back on because she's fantastic. She's hilarious. A whole other side to Ella.
On the Christie's website that you do get appraised first. Okay.
Oh, that would make sense.
All over along the Mississippi Special.
Oh,
along the Mississippi. Chuck, have you bought items to live auctions to sell?
Oh, no, I've never done, like, locally, I have not done that. I've been thinking about trying, like, high bid, but that's not. No, I'm sure, though, when I pass away, my family's going to have a heck of a live auction. Get rid of all my...
The first thing on the list is coffee mugs.
And hats.
And hats. I've bought lots of hats from you before in your auctions, too.
Yes,
y'all going to be doing some more auctions on your channel coming soon, or what?
Yes, we will. And, in fact, Marcy's been kind of nudging me because we got a lot of stuff that we'd like to... I got a couple of totes back here that I think would be perfect for... I just got to do it again.
Michael, that is so true because I sell, as soon as I get anything that has spurs on it and I get them listed, they sell fast. You are right about that one.
Oh, San Antonio Spurs?
Tip as an Italian at an auction, don't talk with your hands.
That's true, too. Is that a bid or are you swatting at flies?
Yeah.
He's over there just
I
talking.
grew up in the Valley View Mall, Coat Road. Okay. Do you still make Point beer in Wisconsin?
That's a great question. I think they do again. I think they have started it up because it wasn't being made for a while. And they've brought some of those old breweries back, like Potosi beer. And I think Point beer has come back as well.
Marcia said it's all going to the dumpster, Chuck.
That's why I can never die.
We do like going to live farm auctions.
Heck yeah.
I'm hoping that when we go back to the lake house, we can do that because that's one of the things we haven't done yet. 2 minutes from there. Awesome. All right. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask away in the chat. If you haven't checked out Chuck's channel, Chuck and Native Pie do a live every Thursday. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They do rotate every Thursday. It is on the calendar. As far as I can keep up with the time, the changes when they do change, it's usually every other week they rotate. And also, now does Nate, I think it was Native Pie, or was it you that y'all do auctions on Wednesdays? Y'all.
It started as Native Pies, and then I took it over, and then I took a break. But yeah, it'll probably be on. In fact, maybe I'll just do one next week, starting next week. 6 p.m. Central Time on Wednesdays on my channel.
Our police do a seized like auction. What? Every Tuesday. Wow. What's up, Scott? Hello, good morning, and welcome. Questions. Why are y'all all up so early?
I'm in farming country.
Between 2 and 3 o'clock, I'm up getting work started.
Dang, I'm up at 5.
So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask away in the chat. Again, Chuck and Marcy do go to a lot of local auctions. If you haven't checked out their channel, definitely do so because they do a lot of videos when they are at these auctions, and it kind of gives you an idea of how it works. And every auction is totally different. Deborah.
Yeah, that's why, like Marcy said, it's a great learning experience. Because sometimes you buy what you find, and then you figure out what's worth something and what isn't.
Well, if you get to go in early enough, you can still check out stuff to where you can get an idea of what they have for auction as well.
True, that's very true.
Because I've seen y'all pick up boxes of stuff, and y'all find stuff underneath the bottom of them that you didn't even see while you were at the auctions.
Oh yeah, like the time I found that stone penis. That was interesting. Put that back in the box.
Very fast, yeah.
But yeah, you find weird stuff sometimes, and sometimes very cool stuff.
Now, is there anything that you and Marcy, when y'all go to these auctions, is there anything y'all stay away from when it comes to these auctions?
We lie to ourselves and say we're not going to buy books, and we almost always buy books. Same with large glass items. But gosh, some of them are so pretty, and you can get so much money for them. And then you get them home, and I'm like, okay, how am I shipping this?
And the reason I asked that question is because one visit to our lake house, I did a personal buy. Chuck and Marcy had picked up some stuff, and they did a video, and I immediately contacted him in that video and said, I need to find out about these books.
Hell yeah.
We did a meetup, and I purchased almost every single box of books that he had in that trunk and in the car.
And I was happy to do it. And I got tons of books again.
And the thing about the ones I bought, though, they were for me in my own collection because a lot of those books were vintage books about glass and different companies with glass. And so you want to keep an eye on those type of books, too, because there can be a great way of you to have in your personal collection when sourcing, because I use those books a lot. There was a lot of Fenton books. Westmoreland, and it's amazing. So don't, and my opinion is, don't pass up on some of those books because they can also be helpful for you in your reselling endeavor. I'm a book peddler. Yep. And I bought almost, actually there was only a few that I didn't pick up because I already had. It wasn't really worth me picking up, but yeah. I love doing personal buys like that. Chuck, do you use gallon of hand sanitizers?
Yeah, I use a lot of it.
Yeah. Let's see here. I love picking up glass, especially vintage Fenton.
Yeah, that's some beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely avoid guns. And what else do I avoid? Some electronics now. I used to buy a lot of electronics, but anymore, not at auction. It doesn't always pan out, and usually there's a reason that one of the family members didn't take it, so I'll let those slide.
And I have another question as reference to when you're sourcing. Is there any category that you were into a lot, finding out that now we just don't do that category anymore? And if so, what category?
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I probably still have some listed.
That is so true, Steph. That's why when I saw that video and I happened to be up there at the time, I commented and said, I would like to meet how much you want for all the books. And so next, we're meeting up, and he's got the trunk, and he's got that big Cadillac trunk where it was full of books and boxes. And then I'm going through the boxes, clearing them out, and saying, okay, I'm buying these, I want these, I want these. And then all of a sudden, Marcy's pulling boxes out of the back seat of the car. So yeah.
Tools are one thing. Hand tools, I got really into them for a while, and I still find some that are worth good money, like specific John Deere ones and things like that. But I kind of had it in my head that all old hand tools would sell well. So I was buying big buckets full of rusty, heavy tools. And yeah, some of them aren't doing much now. So
Yeah.
I backed off of those 100%.
Yeah, I find that when I deal with buying tools, it's usually going to be Craftsman
Oh yeah.
or new sealed containers.
Oh, those are
I
good.
try to stay away from those. Now, some people do really well with them,
Yep.
but I just can't seem to. Yeah, I just don't get into all that. That's just too much. Our trunk can hold 3 adult bodies. Wow. I can believe it too, if not 4.
Now our son drives it.
So don't make Chuck or Uni Magic. All right, everybody. So thank you so much for coming in. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask away. Don't forget to check out Chuck's channel and also Marcy, which is Frugal Peanuts, in the chat. If you haven't checked out their channel, definitely do so. And again, Marcy is more of the background kind of thing, where she does more in the backgrounds with reselling, and you'll see her in some of the videos that Chuck does when they go out to auctions and live sales and things like that. So definitely do that and check out their videos, as well as don't forget to check out Chuck. They're going to be coming back on with some auctions on Wednesdays, as well as they do the two barrels every Thursday. And so tell everybody a little bit about what you got going on. I'm gonna let you go ahead and promote all that, and then give anybody any tips that you think that would be best for those who are starting out and thinking about going into these type of sales for reselling, for sourcing.
Oh yeah. I don't have much to promote except for my pre-recorded videos. I'm putting one out every week, a long one, and then I throw a bunch of shorts out there about random stuff. They may not be reselling necessarily. But yeah, I am going to start doing an auction again regularly. I have talked about doing a second auction weekly, maybe sometime soon. Me and K&D Flips, Keith from Houston, are planning on doing some kind of a reselling show, a one-time show, talking about what it's like to be a part-time reseller and, working it around your regular job. Other than that, it's just the auctions. Tips. You want tips? I say, please just start doing them. Even if you only go for a half hour, because they do take all day. But if you go for an hour or so, buy 1 or 2 things. I'm just worried that it's a dying source, and I think that's a shame. Because a lot of them are moving online. Online, you can't physically touch it. You can only see pictures of it, what they want to show you. And I think it's a shame that some of these live auctions are starting to disappear. So I think if we get more people actually attending them, perhaps we can get more young auctioneers starting up. I think if I could start over again, I would try to become an auctioneer, because it's a heck of a business. But get out there and do it. Don't be afraid to try it. Don't feel like you have to know everything, because you can get things cheaply enough that you can afford to make some mistakes, and you want to go in there as well armed as you can be mentally. But, take a risk here and there, and you might surprise yourself, find a whole new niche that you never messed with before.
That's right. Don't be afraid to try something new.
Right on.
Because it's amazing on what you can find at some of these auctions like this. You never expected to see. Because a lot of times in the country, I call it country because that's basically what it is, in the farmland, which is very known up there. It's amazing on what you find. And yeah, don't be afraid. Knowledge is power. That's right. So again, don't forget, Chuck, if you can, are you able to type something in the chat so they can get your channel and follow you as well? And if anybody can, maybe that we can go directly to your name and check out your channel. Make sure you're following him. Check out some of the videos and leave those comments if you have any questions about the things that you see in those videos. That is very important. It helps out a channel.
Heck yeah, and I'm easy to get a hold of on Instagram too. Let's see. Let's view my channel and get that link.
Yeah, but if you just make a comment in the chat, which you could do in the StreamYard, by the way. You should be able to comment in the StreamYard.
I'll try both. I don't care.
You have a question from Randy. What platforms do you sell on?
Oh, primarily it's still eBay, even though they drive us nuts lately with their fees. But eBay is number one. They're the king. Marcy does a lot on Mercari. She does all the cross listing, so she cross lists on Mercari and Poshmark. We stopped on Etsy for now. And she does some Facebook Marketplace as well for selling bigger stuff
Whatnot
locally. I haven't done Whatnot for several months. I'm signed up on there. I did a couple of auctions and I actually enjoyed it and it worked out fairly well. But it was too much at the time and I was going to jump back into it this summer and I haven't yet. But that's still an option. That's still on the table. I haven't been consistent with that.
And Marcia, can you drop your Posh Closet, please? Just to let everybody know, we'll be planning. I'm trying to figure out what good day would be best because I'm watching a lot of different Posh lives to get an idea. And if you're on Posh, make sure you're following me on Posh because I will be doing some share shows coming soon. And I'm having some different ideas on how to do those type of share shows. And I'm trying to do that on a regular basis, so I need to get back into that. So just make sure you are following me on Posh. That way you will get the notifications when I do a live share show. So with that being said, again, don't forget to check out Chuck's channel. There's Chuck tapping in the chat with his links. So make sure you're following him and make sure you do hit the notifications so you don't miss out.
And on Instagram, I'm just at Backroadbidder.
Yep. And it's all together, not separate.
Right.
I had a hard time finding you yesterday. Yes.
And it's not Backyard Bidder.
Underscore. Oh, I see. Just more. Okay. I think I'm following you on Posh, but I want to make sure. I'm trying to remember if I have you on as marked to follow you.
Just Marcy. See how she is? She excludes me on Poshmark.
Well, guess what? I'm following you now.
Sweet.
And I'll be sharing your stuff out too, because I do that all the time when I meet somebody in the chat that's got a Posh Closet.
I think I sold one item on Poshmark. That's mostly Earth.
Last week I had some good sales on Posh back to back. Because right now I'm one sale away from becoming Posh Ambassador 2. And on the 26th of the 20th of next month, I'll be a year doing Posh. So yeah. Well, everybody, thank y'all so much for coming out and showing your love and support and asking questions. This Thursday, we'll be doing a live with Tuchman with the online auctions with, what was the name of the company again? Max Sold. Because I've purchased from them before. I have used that website. And I actually learned about it from Robert because we went and picked up some stuff from him locally at an auction from Max Sold. I got hooked and I wound up buying stuff from Max Sold and they're really good, great deals. So that's what we'll be talking about Thursday. So come on back and ask those questions if you have any questions about that website or that platform. That great deals, awesome stuff. So with that being said, like I said before, on each and every show, the link is at the top of the chat. If you would like to join us after the show is over, the link is there for you to come on in after the show is over. And as I say before I end each and every show, love always, love is always free. Please be kind to one another till we meet into another chat. Have a blessed and fabulous day. Until we meet again, later. Peace out.
Thanks.
Today, you got to see the business side of Chuck and go back on Thursday nights and watch the funny side of Chuck.
Yeah,
now you hear?
Thank you, guys.